Well, now to a developing story in New York State. Chaos in state prisons. The National Guard called in as corrections officers walk off the job, triggering an uprising among the inmates.
All symptoms of a problem seen all across the country. ABC's Rhiannon Alley has more.
The nationwide shortage of prison workers reaching a boiling point. A week-long strike by corrections officers in New York now spreading to nearly all the state's 42 prisons.
We're doing it for the future. It's not safe for anyone, so we don't care.
And inmates apparently taking advantage. Hundreds taking over the dorms at one facility for hours. Officers retreating as an emergency response team was called to reestablish order. The governor already calling in the National Guard for help staffing the prisons. The striking officers are protesting forced overtime and want changes to a law that restricts punishments for inmates. Prison staffing shortages have worsened across the country since the pandemic. The Bureau of Prison staffing shortfall was estimated around 40% last year. Shortfalls at some prisons in Georgia estimated around 70% and around 50% in Oklahoma. But officers say bringing in the National Guard is not the answer.
They don't know the do's and don'ts inside the walls. Like, it'd be no different than some of us getting sent to do the National Guard's job. It's not going to work.
Meanwhile, 9 officers at one of the New York prisons now facing charges in connection with the death of inmate Robert Brooks. In this disturbing video, officers at a facility in Utica are seen beating Brooks last year.
About a half an hour later, he was clinically dead.
6 former officers are now charged with murder. 3 others, manslaughter.
I think any sentient human being looking at the tapes naturally comes to the conclusion that he must have said something. He must have spit at the officers. He must have resisted in some way. And the fact of the matter is, he did absolutely nothing.
An autopsy found Brooks died from asphyxia due to neck compression and blunt force injuries. The former officers have pleaded not guilty. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
As for the prison strike, talks are scheduled next week.